Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello. Thank you for joining us on our day 2 of our ACA week. Got a lot of great information. Super excited about what's going to go over today. We are joined by Jeff Bonico and Jason Makito of Bright Health. And just an interesting tidbit here, Jeff Bonico was actually the one who hired me for my first ever health insurance job. So I've been working with Jeff for over 10 years, and I actually sat right across from Jason Makito shortly after that for years and worked side by side with him as well. So I can personally vouch for both of these guys. Been doing a lot of business with them for years. Two great resources, bend over backwards to help their agents, and we're really glad to have them with us and to be able to present. Last year, we had a huge year with Bright Health, and actually we were the #1 producer with them on the ACA side, and it's all because of the help of you guys out there. So we want to just say thank you to everyone who participated last year in the ACA with Bright Health and saw that opportunity and were able to capitalize and make a nice bit of money there. So the opportunity again is there. If you have not done so, and this is your first year, or even if you just want a refresher of the ACA, I highly recommend going back to the webinar that we did last week, which was the introduction to ACA. Went over the evolution of the ACA, where it is today, and where we think it's going in the future. Also talked about some things like Help on Demand, which is a great resource for those looking for some leads from healthcare.gov. And before I hand it off to them, I'm also going to show you where you can actually see this webinar. This is our website, messerfinancial.com, and there is an agent resources tab. Everything that you're basically going to need is under this tab. And whenever we do a webinar, we always post it on our website the following week. So if you come down here to Messer Learning Center, and I click that option, you can see there's going to be our previous webinars on there. So as I said, the last one we did was Introduction to ACA. I presented that one. I had a lot of really great feedback, and any other product or carrier, that's where this is going to be. Also, if we go back to this home page, if you notice, if you ever want to know what's coming up as far as webinars, trainings, etc., you can see down here there's a little calendar, and everything that's darkened, that's the ones that we have a webinar. So today is the 22nd. If I click on that, it's going to show me Bright Health webinar, and that's where you can register for it. Okay, tells you what states are also covered. Little brief message so you know what will be covered. Also, please notice here we also have some different tabs. Some of these tabs are incredibly useful, like this one here, FFM certification is open. If I click on that, everything you guys are going to need to be certified for ACA is right here. We've got your FFM certification training guide. If you're a new agent, this is where you go. A new agent or someone who did not certify last year has to go in under the new agent part. The returning agent part is obviously for those that certified last year that are also certifying again this year. Like I said, also Help on Demand. I highly recommend every agent be a part of this. And it'll walk you through everything on how to sign up, what you get for it. And like I said, all this is just putting your name into healthcare.gov and letting them know that you would be happy to help anybody that's looking for help. And so it's basically a free lead source. So I highly recommend taking advantage of that as well. Also, we have quote tools. For those of you that haven't seen it yet, we do have our own quote and enroll tool called MyMFG. We've developed it right here in our office. So if you call me up and say, hey, if you change this color to this, and it's going to bring me 20% more sales, then I can walk right down to the guy who made the whole thing and tell him we need to change it to this color, and this is the reason why. There's a lot of advantages from owning your own software and things of just being flexible on how we can use it. And if you ever want to get a quick take of it, if you don't have it yet, all you need to do is hit Agent Resources, Quote Tools, and this very first one here is the Health Quote. And it's going to take you right here to what MyMFG will look like for your clients. So again, if you haven't been set up on MyMFG yet, let us know. You can call this number right here. Speak to anybody in the producer support team, marketing team, commissions, contracting. We have a department for any kind of inquiry that you might have. At the end of the day, guys, we are a true partner with you. That means we want to help you in the good times and the bad, and we want to take a lot of the load off of your shoulders so that you can focus on what you're doing best, and that's selling. If you're having to take time away from selling and focus on things like commission issues or contracting issues or whatever the case may be, then that is not a positive move for you. So allow us to help you. Feel free to contact us. Use us as much as you possibly can, because at the end of the day, we want nothing more for you to succeed. Also, one last thing before I turn it over. For those of you that are not yet contracted, please make sure to do so ahead of time. And also, you really want to make sure that you're partnering with the right partner. There's a lot of FMOs and GAs out there that just aren't quite up to the ethical standards of, say, a Messer Financial in regards to we, in our Messer agreement, every agent must sign this before they can even submit an appointment. And what this does is it protects the agent to say that if for some reason you ever wanted to be released, we do have an open release policy. And not only that, whatever you've written, you will continue to be paid on those policies for as long as they're enforced. We try to take away any kind of worry or risk of partnering with us. And again, it does us no good to appoint you if you're going to fail. So we want to do everything that we possibly can to make you guys successful. So keep us in the loop. And also to contract under agent resources, it'll say online contracting. If you don't have a SuranceBay profile yet, you will need to create one. But basically, you'll just hit get started. Now, this might be, it does use Flash Player. So for some of you that are having problems with this, I'm going to show you exactly how to get past this part. If you notice up here, where the URL is, there's a little tiny lock, okay? If I click on that, it's going to ask me about Flash. All I got to do is click this, allow, reload, and there you go. Now I'm back into SuranceBay. SuranceBay is loading. I don't like the fact that they use Flash Player, but they were supposed to get rid of it. They didn't, but we are where it is. But at least I wanted to show you that. And if you don't have one, an account with us, make sure to hit the new user, create your profile, and then you'll be able to request any appointment that you want. And keep in mind that with the ACA carriers, once you submit your request in SuranceBay, that doesn't mean it's done. That means that there's going to be another link that's going to be sent to you shortly after that you have to complete. So always keep an eye out in your email for any further interaction when it comes to the carriers and the onboarding process. And again, you want to do it quickly because there's just a huge amount of people trying to get appointed right now. So it slows the process down on things. So the sooner we can get it done, the better. There is no cost for appointments. There are no production requirements. And if they're in your area, I highly recommend going ahead and getting appointed, even if it's not your primary focus, because I promise you, when clients find out that there's going to be more options and they see some of the rate increases that some of the competitors are taking, you're going to want to be ready and to take advantage of this opportunity. So again, if you will see that there's a place on your chat where you should be able to ask questions. We will have time at the end for questions and answers. We'll take as much time as you possibly need. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jeff Bonico and Jason Makito and let them take it from here. So thank you, everyone.
Hey, thanks. Thank you, Micah. My name is Jeff Bonico. I'm a regional sales director for Bright Health. On a more personal note, though, I've been partnered with Messer for about 20 years, working with the agents they have a contract with, and I can't say enough great things about the organization. They're a great partnership. They have a great partnership with Bright Health as well as the other carriers that we had worked with and enjoyed a relationship with, and can't say enough great things. But I'll go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and go through the agenda, and we will. Does everybody see my screen?
Yep. Yes, we can see it.
There we go. Great. So in this meeting, we're going to review Bright Health and then kind of give you an overview of where we're expanding to and generate some excitement about our expansion. Bright Health, as Jason will review in the next slide, has done some amazing things over the last 5 years, and we're excited to keep expanding on that. Then Jason's going to pass it over to me, and I'm going to review some state-specific things on where we're expanding and also where I think some key areas will be for Bright Health. We'll understand and go through the additional value plan benefits that our plans offer, include some more information for your clients, and then really show you how to work with Bright Health and how we're adapting to work with brokers. We love working with brokers. We know that you drive the engine, and so we want to give you the tools to do it with. And lastly, you're not going to have to do this alone. We're going to put a lot into marketing across the country, and I'll review some of that with you at the end of the slides, and we'll go from there. But Jason, if you could move through the Bright Health overview and give these guys a good overview of Bright Health.
All right, will do, Jeff. Thanks for everybody's attention today. Appreciate you being on the call with us today. Yes, very happy to be part of Bright Health now for the last roughly 14, 15 months. In that short period of time, within one enrollment period, and thanks to the partnership with Messer Financial, we were able to grow to be the second biggest ACA under 65 carrier in the state of North Carolina. So we definitely have a pretty broad reach already with some of the agents in North Carolina specifically. But if you aren't familiar with us, these are some of the leading indicators in terms of where we are and who we are as an organization, because this company is not doesn't have as long a history as some of our competitors out there. The primary focus of Bright Health is to really focus on that ACA marketplace coverage, and then we have Medicare Advantage coverage in some markets as well. And we are expanding to do ACA small group for 2021. That is not the purpose of this call, but be aware that we are getting into the ACA small group space as well in Tennessee, Nebraska, and Colorado too. So at the current time, 34 markets in 13 states, and our goal is to build our networks around what we call our care partners. And as of this moment, it's roughly 100,000 physicians and 29 different care partners in those 13 states where we are going to be located. You could jump ahead, Jeff. All right, so want to sort of just lay the foundation here in terms of where Bright Health has come from. The company actually started out in Colorado roughly 4 or 5 years ago. What they did was they found a care partner in Colorado called Centura Health, laid the foundation for Centura Health and building a product around Centura Health, having almost immediate success right out the door with the products that they built for the ACA market in Colorado. And so obviously when you see that something works, you want to then see if it works in other markets. So go from there to 2018 to 2020, expand the geography, expand the footprint, build some new markets out, enter additional states. You continue to see that strategy that you have aligning with these care partners in those markets does continue to work. And so as we move forward into 2020, that was our biggest expansion to date, where we came into 10 counties in North Carolina, expanded to a bunch of new counties down in Florida, and then built out some additional care partners in some other markets as well. So as we look forward into 2020 and moving forward into 2021, you actually see California on the map out west. Reason for that is in the Medicare Advantage space, purchased a company out there earlier this year called Brand New Day. So that'll give us a foothold on the West Coast, and then expanding out into additional new markets here for 2021. Most notably, some of the markets in Florida, North Carolina, going into Asheville, Greensboro, Raleigh-Durham, picking up 23 new counties in North Carolina, and then also going up into the Chicago metro area for 2021. And some of the care partners who we are linked with, just as a flavor, depending on maybe where you are geographic wise, we obviously know here in North Carolina, everybody's familiar with Novant Health, Duke Health, Mission Health, Cone Health as well. And that's a little bit of an idea of who we're working with here in these local markets. So if we can move ahead, we'll keep pushing through and give some more flavor in terms of what we're offering here. So the design in terms of what our overall goal is to build a product that's really focused all around that care partner. So these aren't products that just allow you to willy-nilly go wherever you want to go in terms of finding providers that are outside of that care partner. The best way to control costs that we've found is to build everything around that centralized partner. So when you're a carrier and you're sharing that data with that one company and they're sharing data with you, you're able to learn from that and adapt much faster and able to really rein in and have cost as controlled as much as possible without sacrificing the care for that particular member. Because when the members are bouncing around in between platforms and in between different networks, then it becomes a little chaotic and a little bit more difficult to control that. So move forward, Jeff. The next thing that I want to focus on is just to give everybody on the call, since we could have different geographies in play here, where do you find our individual and family plans? So Jeff and I are solely on the individual and family plan side, and you see on this map either the teal shade or the green shaded states where you do find our individual and family plans. And going forward, Jeff will actually talk about all those specific states and who those care partners in those markets are. For 2021,
sorry, Jason.
So the strategy is pretty simple. If you're familiar with Bright Health, particularly in North Carolina for 2020, we really saw a lot of growth in the Silver CSR plans. We had a lot of folks in and around the Charlotte area who adopted our Silver CSR plans, our Silver 4, Silver 5, but really our Silver 4 and our Silver 6 around the Charlotte market, whether it was a 94 actuarial value, 87, whatever it may be. But those Silver CSR plans are where we really targeted. And so our plans, our goal going forward is to offer plans that are really targeting the lowest premium in all the markets where we exist. Because we all know that if you're not first or second in a lot of these geographies, if you're third in many instances, you're losing out. You're just not going to get that many looks. So when you come up on that, whether it's the healthcare.gov spreadsheet or Health Sherpa or the Messer tool that a lot of the agents use around in North Carolina, then you want to come up and be one of the top options that exist there, because otherwise you just get lost in the mix there. So some enhancements for this coming year: having zero deductible silver plans that aren't just on the marketplace, but actually having off the marketplace zero deductible silver plans, building a zero deductible bronze plan that I'm really excited about for this coming year, since we actually did miss out a little bit on some of the bronze opportunity that was out there. Of course, building in more zero primary care copays on plans, $0 for generic prescriptions as well at the silver level, $0 primary care bronze plans. So you really see us doubling down in terms of what we're trying to put on the spreadsheet when people take a look at what their options are, and really try to put as many zeros as we can, since we know that that grabs the consumer's attention out there. Even at the catastrophic level, with having 3 zero primary care visits, that's going to be really critical for us, for folks that may be even declaring financial hardships due to the pandemic, et cetera, and trying to get those catastrophic plans. So if you can move forward, Jeff. So let's look at North Carolina specifically. So the opportunity, it's very, very broad in terms of the addressable lives that North Carolina has in the 4 primary geographies that we will be in. Charlotte, Winston-Salem, if you're not familiar, that was our launching point for North Carolina. Those were 10 counties in and around Charlotte and Winston that we went into this last year. I'm very happy to say that in that first year, we picked up almost 20% of the available market share. We obviously could not have done that without the partnership of the agents in and around those areas. We did supply the lowest silver rates in Charlotte and really low competitive silver rates in Gaston County. I will tell you that we know that will continue into 2021. Our competitor that will exist in the Charlotte market in the 5 counties surrounding Charlotte, they're asking for a 17% increase next year. We're asking for low single digits increase for next year. And so we think that we're really going to be able to double down and pick up a lot more membership in and around Charlotte for this coming year. Greensboro, Cone Health and Triad Healthcare Network are extremely excited to be working with Bright Health for 2021. If we didn't have that immediate success in Charlotte in 2020, I don't know if you would see us go up into Greensboro so quickly. Obviously, we want to expand in North Carolina, but because of that success, Cone Health was very quick to jump on board. They are very eager. They are telling all of their physicians. Their physicians are telling their members that come into their offices all about Bright Health. We know that in that market, Cone was impacted because a lot of members moved over to Wake Forest Baptist Health. Well, definitely Cone wants to change that, and Cone wants to get those members back. And so that's why you see them highlighting this partnership that we've built with them for 2021. So in Guilford, Rockingham, Randolph counties, you're absolutely going to want to take a look at Bright Health. We are going to be likely the most competitive product that your members are going to be able to find up there. In Raleigh-Durham, expanding a little further east, picked up a great care partner there with Duke Health, WakeMed, WakeKey Community Care as well. This will allow us, having the additional WakeKey Community Care, have places like Avance Primary Care and other outlets. Our network is going to be very broad in that market. So I know we talk about these local care partner networks that we build, but we are going to have, from our estimation, roughly 400 more physicians than our competitor and better in that market. So I don't want to be looked at side by side to that competitor because they also use Duke and WakeMed. We are going to be broader and have much more extensive coverage in terms of who our members are going to be able to go to there. And hopefully we can pick up a large chunk of market share in that area as well. I've been working the Raleigh-Durham market for a long time, going all the way back to the Coventry and Aetna days, and I know that consumers up there generally have a preference for using Duke Health and WakeMed, and so that's going to be a great opportunity for anybody that has members in that area. And then out west, everybody's familiar with Mission Health. Mission Health is who everybody has been going to over there for years. And so our partnership will extend in the Western North Carolina counties with Mission Health for next year. And we think that that's going to allow us to pick up a good chunk of market shares there as well. So with the particular products that we've built, this webinar today isn't meant to go over the products specifically for North Carolina, but to give everybody an overview in terms of the states where we will be for next year. With those products, with the enhancements that we're adding with a lot of the $0 levels, and then having these care partners that are giving us great contracts in these markets, you're definitely going to have something to sell with Bright Health for next year in North Carolina. So if you could move forward, Jeff. So this is actually the service map. And one thing I want to just point out on this map, when you're talking about this is just talking about North Carolina, because I'm the broker manager for North Carolina. So I'm just going to talk about North Carolina at this time. When your members are in North Carolina and they're purchasing one of these plans, whether they're in Charlotte using Novant, or they're in Greensboro using Cone, or in Raleigh-Durham using Duke, WakeMed, or Mission, etc., our members on these plans are going to be allowed to go in between those care partners. And the biggest example I can give for that is for members that are within Guilford, Randolph, and even Alamance County. You're there with Cone, but if you want to go west and you need to go west into Winston-Salem and use Novant, you can do that. Or if you want to go east and use Duke Health, you can do that as well. So that's an important distinction in terms of how we're building the network here in North Carolina. That is just for North Carolina, where you're able to go in between those care partners on those plans. So if you could move forward, Jeff. And then just to wrap up on this last part of the slide before I hand it over to Jeff for South Carolina, a lot of cachet here. It is great that a company as young as Bright is able to pick up some of these partners in the healthcare space. It shows that they really have a lot of faith in terms of what Bright Health is doing out there. And if they have a lot of faith in terms of what Bright Health is offering, I would hope that you as an agent and then even your members are going to have a lot of faith in terms of what we offer in terms of our products out there too. So I'll pass it back to Jeff. Jeff will go through some of the rest of the states for you before I come back with some additional details.
Hey, thanks, Jason. Appreciate that. I'm gonna set the tempo a little bit higher on the other markets. As we go through some of these additional markets, you're going to notice some name brand care partners across the region. But I'm just going to really provide high level, overviews of those areas. Upstate South Carolina, we are expanding in. We initially opened the market in Greenville, Spartanburg, and Anderson counties, and are including expansion this year in 2021 into the Spartanburg, Union, and Cherokee counties for our Bright Health plan. And with the care partner that we've selected, it's Southeastern Health Partners, but it includes the care partners Bon Secours St. Francis, Spartanburg Regional Health System, and ANMED. But last year when we entered the market, I would say we captured around 15%, 12 to 15% market share in South Carolina. But in our expansion area, which is in Spartanburg region, we are going to have a great opportunity to capture new membership. We think that our pricing advantage in that Spartanburg market will be advantageous for our brokers to have another option to offer their clients. But essentially, if you know that region in Spartanburg, South Carolina, there's really only one health system that you can go to, and we do have that system within our grasp and within one of our care partners. Moving on, this just goes and shows you the footprint, map of the footprint, lists the counties, give you a high-level overview of the areas, just Greenville and Spartanburg. Most people know us as we participate in Anderson, Cherokee, Greenville, Pickens, Spartanburg, and Union counties in South Carolina. So we're not done in South Carolina by any means. We plan to further expand across the state. This is our sort of next step in South Carolina as we continue to grow. Moving over to Tennessee, you'll see that Tennessee, we opened the market usually it's about a year prior to the Carolinas. If you'll look at the market, there's ample opportunity in the Tennessee market for market capture. I will say the care partners that we have selected in Tennessee are name brand care partners, including UT Medical Center, Baptist Medical Care, and TriStar. And I'm going to go back to the map just so you can take a look at it. And it looks like while this loads and everybody can see this slide, these are the areas in Tennessee that we have entered into. We did pick up a little bit of market share our first year in Tennessee, and our competitive position has tapered off a little. However, we are offering an additional option for folks that need something different in Tennessee. Again, the care partners, UT, Baptist, and TriStar. And really, I'm just going to keep these at a high level. Florida is another market I'd like to make a few comments on. A significant expansion area for Bright Health in especially South Florida and also Palm County or Palm Beach, excuse me. You'll see the opportunity of eligible membership in the counties that we entered in Florida as quite unimaginable. Well over 500,000 folks into almost 1 million folks, opportunity to sell. So South Carolina is a very important market for, not South Carolina, Florida is a very important market for Bright Health. We are putting a lot of emphasis on this market, and we anticipate having a very competitive edge and a great product to offer in that market. Moving on to the service area, you'll see that we have 5 or 6 different markets in 16 counties, including Daytona Beach and Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, Pensacola, Miami, Palm Beach, and Tampa. In terms of benefit details, we will be providing those at a later date in these markets. However, I do want to emphasize what Jason covered and it's really an emphasis on zero out of pocket and $0 deductible. These are just a little bit of, this is just a little bit of information on our care partners that we've established in Florida, Ascension, Advent Health, Tenet Healthcare, and then in Colorado, the opportunity there is between Denver and Peak, and then Peak Southwest Health Association. All three markets are clinically integrated with Centura, and Denver is differentiated. If you've not done business in Colorado, or if you're doing business today in Colorado, we have a great option, and also are entering that market on the employer side as well. So that's a little bit of information. This is the map or the coverage area for our Colorado counties, including Denver, Peak Health Alliance, and Southwest Health Alliance, which is an expansion area for us in 2021. But as you can see, we offer all three different types of plans, including Medicare Advantage, in addition to offering group products as one of our expansion markets in 2021. Again, these are just the name brand care partners that we continue to add to our national footprint. And essentially, in Colorado, we started with Centura Health, very important system in that state. Illinois, I do have responsibility for this market. I think it is a great opportunity for our expansion. Last year, we entered the Illinois market with our MA plans only, and this year we are expanding into the 4 counties that include Chicago. The opportunity there is around 170,000 members, so plenty of opportunity in Illinois or Chicago area for us to expand in and offer new opportunities. And really, if you know about anything about that market, you've got Blue Cross in that market, you've got Ambetter in that market, and now you will have Bright Health. And the difference being is in our care partner model. In this market, we really just focused in on not just one care partner, but several, including North Shore, Amita, DuPage Medical Group, and Edward Elmhurst, all being access options for the Chicagoland folks in Illinois. And this is just a coverage area of the service area that we are entering in Chicago, including Cook, DuPage, Kane, and Will County. I cannot emphasize enough, this will be a very competitive area for us, and we will be offering a competitive commission in this area as well. Moving on to Nebraska, another state that we are expanding our employer benefits into, but we do have ample opportunity for our individual plans. We offer a statewide network plan, including Midland's Choice, which has an opportunity of 117,000 folks. If you're doing business in Nebraska, this is a market of opportunity for Bright Health, and certainly a market that we enjoy being in. If you look at the primary spaces we operate in Nebraska, it's including Omaha, which includes Dodge, Douglas, and Sarpy counties, and then our statewide network with 93 counties across the state. Again, Oklahoma, and I apologize if this gets redundant. Really, these are just high-level overviews of these states. Our care partner in Oklahoma is Integris. The opportunity is about 50,000 members in Oklahoma, really the Oklahoma City, and is a 3-county area for us. We actually had a lot of success in 2020 for Oklahoma City, and expect that success to continue on through 2021. Arizona is the final market I will review. We've had it's one of the initial markets Bright Health rolled out into. We're continuing to expand our network and add providers. The opportunity, roughly $110,000, or excuse me, 110,000 members, excuse me. And we added Honor Health. We lost Phoenix Children's Hospital, so there's no specialty hospital in network in the Arizona area. But this also just kind of reviews where primarily Bright Health is offered in Arizona, primarily in Maricopa counties and Pima counties. And moving on, I am going to pass it over to Jason, get myself a drink of water because I'm running out of voice, and I'm going to let him explain the opportunity for ICHRA. Whether you participate in this market or not, I think you should pay attention. We think this is going to be have ample opportunity. Bright Health wants to be prepared and have the products ready for you to sell. So Jason, would you mind reviewing this?
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff. All right, so I've been in the individual ACA space for quite a while, obviously, really from the inception, but also spent the last couple of years before coming over to Bright Health working in the group space for Aetna in the Carolinas too. And so I've got a little bit of knowledge, enough to make me dangerous in terms of the group space that exists out there today. And if you're not familiar and you have opportunities that come your way from groups that are talking to you about potential options for coverage, ICHRA is another arrow in your quiver to have. And this started actually at the beginning of January. It's slowly taking hold in states like North Carolina. You're definitely seeing a lot more agents in North Carolina talking about this, but it has quickly gained momentum in a number of other states. ICHRA is a group plan, and what you're doing is essentially allowing your employees to get a reimbursement so that they can then go out and purchase their own coverage from Bright, from other carriers, from whomever they want, whether that's a silver plan, a bronze plan, a gold plan, whatever it may be. It is a special enrollment for them to be allowed to do that. So if the employer says we're essentially getting rid of our traditional group coverage and we're going to go out there and do these health reimbursements arrangements, they are allowed to do that. Obviously, it does satisfy the employer mandate. There's no size limits involved here. You can have a group of 5, you can have a group of 5,000. There's no limits in terms of who can be potentially offered this type of arrangement. While it is picking up steam in other states, I think it's a little slow to pick up steam in North Carolina because you have the ACA small group plans out there from Blue Cross and United Healthcare, and quite frankly, they're very competitive products in the ACA small group space. They compete very hard head to head, and they've been able to keep their costs because they compete so hard against each other relatively low over the last few years, while the ACA individual rates have sort of escalated above the ACA small group rates. However, you get groups that are underwritten that are 50 plus from all these carriers that exist in the state that could be seeing large rate increases. Some are getting decreases, I understand. Some are getting very minimal increases today because of the carriers just not experiencing many losses at this moment because of the pandemic. But if they're getting those large rate increases, this is something that an agent needs to be aware of because they could shop that group with other carriers and be rejected or be told that the rates are actually a lot higher. And you could fall back on this ICHRA opportunity for that particular group. And it makes sense. It's easy to administer. You could work with different companies out there to actually administer the products. And you, the person who is focused on the individual products, you can then walk these members through picking the right ACA plan for themselves or for their families. So definitely keep your eye focused on this because it is going to continue to gain momentum. It is part of the reason why, in just my opinion, you're starting to hear and see other carriers that have dropped out of the ACA individual space wanting to get back into the individual ACA space, because if they have the risk out there of their groups moving to ICHRA style plans, they want to obviously have a product out there that has that same name on it for their as an option for their members to move to. So keep an eye on this. And locally, I will tell you that we've been working and talked many times, and I've referred many agents over to Ameriflex. if they want to talk and be on a chat with Ameriflex about the administrative parts of ICHRA. If you want to talk about the individual plans, certainly that is us. The administrative parts tend to go to someone else to help put that plan into place. And we've also talked with a couple of other folks that deal with these products on a national level. In fact, we know that there are some of these third-party administrators are calling into agents in these states asking about these opportunities to move groups to ICHRA as well. So keep an eye on this as this continues to gain momentum. You want to move forward, Jeff?
Yeah.
So we'll jump into a couple of quick details since this is relevant for the national audience. We are partnered with EnvisionRx. EnvisionRx is going to be changing their name, if you haven't seen it, to Elixir. Short story long, just want to make sure that you know that your members have access to Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, a lot of local grocery store chains as well that they can go to, with roughly 67,000 national pharmacy locations. So you shouldn't run into any issues with your members being able to get their prescriptions close by. Continue on, please. Please don't forget the plans. A lot of people tend to forget about this. It's not a big selling feature of the plans by any means, but because these are ACA plans, if you're not familiar with Bright, these are full ACA plans on and off the marketplace. They do include the pediatric dental and vision benefits. And we'll slide forward to talk about the dental piece just a little bit more. And covering all markets with a new national vendor, Liberty Dental was going to cover all the IFP pediatric lives in 2021. So that's a little bit of a change from the plan in 2020. Keeping that same benefit structure for most of the markets. So I know a lot of people do take advantage of that benefit when they've got the children on that product. The rewards program, more details to come on the rewards. More details to come for 2021 rewards specifically. I know in 2020 you were used to us talking about the cash rewards, the rides, the meals. I know a lot of agents in North Carolina took advantage of the meal part. They reached out to me and told me all about it. They had members that took advantage of that part when they had folks in the hospital. But the cash rewards are likely to change, so we'll keep you up to date on that front. We really, I think, want to lean in on cash rewards since that has been a good feature for us to have in some of our markets. So fast forward a little bit, Jeff. A couple of other things that we want to go over here. Telemedicine, we leaned in more with telemedicine earlier this year by partnering with Doctors on Demand. Obviously, telemedicine, if you look at any of the news out there, is picking up steam universally almost across the country. More people are getting comfortable with it, getting familiar with it. They're using it. You can pull it up on your phone, on your tablet, wherever you feel like it. Everybody's getting used to these video conference things that they're used to, and you could do that same thing with either your local doctor, since I know some of the care partners out there offer these video calls through their local physicians with our care partners, or through Doctors on Demand. So if you aren't using that, you aren't directing your members to use that, this is a fantastic alternative. It's another great alternative if you have a member with us that, as an example, has a son or a daughter away at college in another state. If they get sick and they're 2 states away, a state away, wherever they may be, reminder that they can access this through Doctors on Demand for themselves as well. Forward, please. So a couple things to sort of talk about from an enhancement standpoint for this year. A lot of the membership that we have in the ACA space is Spanish speaking, so you're going to see a revamped services in terms of what we're offering, hiring a lot of folks that are bilingual in the broker service unit and the customer service units, teams, etc. Building more media campaigns around the folks that do speak Spanish out there, updating a lot of our materials to include Spanish language provider materials and resources, both in paper format and digitally, and you'll see a lot of these coming very soon through the broker website. Next up, we want to go over a couple other things, information for your clients from their perspective. The a little bit of a lag there and going through the tools. Go ahead, Jeff, you can move forward. All right, so removing the two-factor authentication, that has been something that agents have been asking for, having a single sign-on for enrollment and for training. If we move forward, one of the things that I want to focus on is making sure that everybody's aware of our events calendar, because things are going to start moving very, very fast over the next couple of weeks. So on our events calendar at brighthealthbroker.com, you're going to see different trainings on there on how to use our systems, how to navigate our systems. These are webinars that are live with an actual person that's walking you through that. They don't take a lot of your time. We don't want to take a lot of your time. This time of year gets too busy for everybody, but it is a nice to have that refresher. We post a lot of stuff on our broker website at brighthealthbroker.com. All of the materials at some point will be posted on there for 2021. In the next couple of weeks, our provider finders on brighthealthbroker.com will go live. You'll need to get comfortable using that. You'll need to get comfortable navigating that to find providers and with all these care partners that we have. You'll need to look at the events calendar, depending on the state where you're located, to find when is our actual 2021 product rollout. So this is an overview of Bright Health and who we are in our expansion for these geographies for 2021, but the actual nuts and bolts and the plans are going to be in our product rollouts when we do those. I can tell you that for North Carolina, they're not posted yet, but they're going to be October 13th, 14th, and 15th, and then 2 weeks after that. So we're going to do webinars the 13th, 14th, and 15th, and then come follow up 2 weeks later with a couple of webinars for anybody that might have missed those dates. I specifically, for the North Carolina agents, I'll be traveling anywhere from Gaston County over to Johnston County, delivering kits to anybody that wants them. We'll have a calendar of those events as well, where you can meet up with me to pick up a 2021 kit, to have the product details if you need that. That will happen the week of October 19th. So 2 critical weeks. Week of October 12th, webinars, week of October 19th, kit distribution, and then the week of the 26th, that's for the folks that could not join us on webinars the week of the 12th, or they just need a refresher on the webinars that week as well. So that's all found in the bottom right-hand corner of brighthealthbroker.com. So what you're going to love the marketing collateral. One of the feedback that we got from this last year was around our marketing collateral. Product grids that are simple to look at, that'll have all the plans on one specific product grid for you to review. Those are all coming really soon for all the markets, the market guides, etc. One-page information pieces. This is all in the works and all coming very, very soon. A lot more marketing collateral that's going to be available for agents next year as we sort of revamp that for some of the agents out there. If you are not familiar with Bright, we pay commissions timely, we pay them accurately. That is one thing I'm extremely proud of, is the fact that I got very, very few calls on my phone from agents that where the commission was not accurate or they didn't receive it in time. And you can rely on that consistency that you get from us. The rates will absolutely be competitive on the commission front. We'll obviously announce those during our product rollouts later in October. They will 100% be competitive in the markets. We are doubling down in terms of using agents out there to market our products to the consumers. Broker-focused decision making, having advisory groups that give us feedback on our product, what did they like, what didn't they like, allowing us to adjust to that. We met with our group in North Carolina about that and told them some of the changes we were able to make, and then also having ongoing training for the agents as well. So you are first and foremost in terms of us being successful in the market. We want to continue to lean on that relationship with you. So just a couple other things to go through here before we wrap up. If you need to reach out to folks in these markets, this is your national team. So Carrie is the vice president for our individual and family plans. If you're from another state and you want to put a face to a name or a name to a face, you can do that right here by looking at the different states where we exist. For Western North Carolina in the Asheville market, that's Courtney Jones. She's located just over the mountains in Tennessee, but she's handling Asheville for us. I will be responsible for Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, Durham. And then if you're in Florida, it depends on where you're located, specifically in Florida for different geographies down there. And certainly if you need to reach out to somebody and don't know how to reach them, you have myself and Jeff that you can reach out to, and we'll be happy to get you in front of the right folks. But these folks will all be on the calls when we do the product rollouts in the different geographies for 2021. If you could go forward, Jeff. All right, it's contracting season. So Micah emphasized this earlier. Micah emphasized this earlier, and our folks are busy getting a lot of contracts pushed through with the broker support unit as well. These are their current hours, 8 to 6 Central Standard Time, so 9 to 7 Eastern Time. These hours do vary. As we get into the open enrollment period, you'll see additional hours posted. We'll definitely let you know about that. Weekend hours usually get posted as well. If you are familiar with us, excellent feedback on our broker service team. They're able to help with a lot of different things that might come up for you throughout the entire open enrollment season and even outside the open enrollment season. Definitely easier to give them a call. I know a lot of people love to send emails. We're in an email and a text-driven world. Nobody likes to pick up the phone anymore. Of course, it's easier to send an email, but obviously it's a little bit of a delayed response when you send an email. Definitely easier to pick up the phone if you need to reach them. They will get back to you and help you out with anything that they need. If there are escalated issues that you do have, that's when you use your broker managers and get your broker managers involved. Fast forward, Jeff. All right, Jeff's going to wrap up with some of the marketing. We got a little bit of a different flavor for 2021, putting a lot of marketing dollars out there into these states to build awareness for Bright, particularly in expansion areas. So this is pretty cool stuff that he's going to go through with you to wrap it up.
Thanks, Jason. One thing I want to add is if you're new to individual health insurance, this is a really great and exciting time to really get back in. If it's something that you've put down and you want to pick back up to offer your clients, there is opportunity to make money in this segment. I think Messer can share some stories of agents that have personally done extremely well with Bright Health with their commissions. But Bright Health really wants to provide you all with something easy to sell and give you a sense of security to offer your clients. So we're going to help get the word out there about Bright Health. So we have some extensive marketing campaigns that go on. If you're familiar with us, last year we did the puppets. This year we've changed our creative strategy into more something that's appealing. I'll wait for this next slide to pop up, but in 2019, like I said, we started with the puppets. Seeing puppets who are happy about saving money. The message is a little different this year. Hearing people who are happy for all kinds of Bright reasons. So our marketing is going to support some of that out in the field. In fact, you will see some co-branding, co-branded marketing with Messer Financial. We do have some partnership in that regard. So as well as some of our brokers out in the field. But this is kind of our theme, cupcakes for all the Bright reasons, great commercial segments. We're animated digital displays with $0 premium emphasized. Get coverage you feel good about. All great messages, call to actions that support the Bright Health messages. As well as social media presence. You will see us all over Facebook, Instagram, and some of the others. We're going to do some out of home advertising, billboard advertising in certain markets, advertising Bright Health and really branding our name out in the market. So people have an understanding of who Bright Health is and what we're here to do. Our paid media strategy is going to be leveraged to TV, billboards, online, mainly online social media through Facebook and LinkedIn, Twitter, all the ones that are out there, YouTube. We've got some great things and some some really creative things going into 2021 that are going to make Bright Health stand out. But that's really the what we wanted to say today. Again, I can't emphasize enough the opportunity in individual health segment is pretty great right now. So if you're not taking advantage of that, I don't know really what to say. But I will turn this over. I'm happy to work with each of you. Bright Health is happy to do business, and we love working with brokers. So, and we enjoy our relationship with Messer Financial. So, would love to turn this back over to Micah. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys. A lot of great information shared there. I do want to point out what Jeff was just saying, that the opportunity is there, guys. I understand that in the last few years in North Carolina especially, there just wasn't that much opportunity, right? I mean, you have one carrier, so there's really no opportunity as far as getting new enrollments, and the renewals were so low that it really wasn't even worth your time to service it. So it made it very hard to focus on anything in the individual, which is why we're making this year, why we're so excited, because we literally in 1 year basically went from one carrier to 5 in over a 2-year span. And when you're talking about a huge new wave of people, you got to think of what the current state of the country is with COVID and everything going on. People coming off of employer coverages, changes in income where somebody may not have qualified for a subsidy last year, but maybe because of the change in income this year now do. It's a huge wave. Plus, you have the ICRA opportunities as well. A huge new wave of people is coming into the marketplace, and I will say a lot of people, even on this webinar, received very nice awards for selling so much with Bright Health last year. And I got to tell you guys, I like being number one. I think that's fantastic, and I want to stay up there. And I think with what they have as an opportunity with their product, I think you guys are still going to have a chance to sell a ton of it. And like they said, I mean, the bonuses, the amount of money that I saw some of our agents make last year in a 6-week period, it really is mind-boggling. And not only that, is the amount of people that they're also helping. I mean, these aren't people that are just rolling people over to make money. These are people that are rolling people over because it's a better product, a better rate, better agent support. I've called that BSU line several times, and I've always had a great response out of them. Plus, you have Jason, you have Jeff, you have myself, you have our producer support team. I'm telling you, you have an entire staff behind you helping you go up that hill to hit whatever goals you're looking to make. So, again, I just really want to reiterate the fact that now is the time. If we could go back to 2005 when Medicare Advantage first came out, wouldn't you just love to do that and jump right in on that opportunity? Or when the ACA first rolled out, if healthcare.gov would have worked, you would have wanted to get into it at that time as well. So this is kind of like your opportunity to get on the ground floor of the rebirth, if you will, of the ACA market, which is why we're so excited. And again, I know I went over that on our introduction to ACA webinar, but it's just really an exciting time, and I hope that you guys can see it and see why I'm so passionate about it. Jeff and Jason, we do have a few questions I wanted to go over before we end this. Bear with me just 1 second here. Is the telemed available with all plans in all states?
Yes, the telemedicine benefit is available in all of the states. Doctors on Demand specifically is a national vendor for us for telemedicine. Certainly, if you've got your local care partners that have telemedicine, you can use them as well.
Can you go out of state and still be in network? Where can I check for the providers?
So I'll take that one, Jason. So yes, Bright Health will be adding an urgent and emergency care benefit to their plan. So you do have the ability to travel outside of your area. However, you will only have reciprocity within the state that you are in. Hopefully that makes sense. So if you're a member in North Carolina, you travel to Florida, your out of network benefits will be urgent or emergent care only. If you're a North Carolina member and you are traveling from Asheville to Raleigh and you stay within our systems that are offered, you will have in-network coverage. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Here's one about the Charlotte market. In the Charlotte market, other than Novant, do you have any other providers like Caremont, Gaston Medical Partners, Tri Medical Partners, anything like that?
I did gloss over that, but in the Charlotte region specifically, I mentioned how well we did in Gaston County. We are partnered with Caremont in Gaston County, so our members that reside in Gaston County can either use Caremont or Novant Health if they desire. We are not currently contracted with Tryon Medical in Charlotte. That is not an outfit that we use. We're sticking with the Novant providers and the Novant clinically integrated network that is pretty expansive as well. So if you look at some examples of that would be Ortho Carolina, Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat from a specialist standpoint. They were included in that clinically integrated network. The providers are all found on our broker website at brighthealthbroker.com. It is not yet updated though with the 2021 provider lists. That will be coming soon prior to open enrollment.
So, hey, and then one notable provider in Asheville is Duke LifePoint. So that is one of our care partners as well. One that I failed to mention during our review.
Could you go over, it looks like there's some questions again about the Illinois market, the opportunity there, and also the South Carolina. If you could just run through those two markets real quick.
Absolutely.
As far as where you're going to be, the counties in, yeah.
Yeah. So in Illinois, we are going to be in Kane, Will, DuPage, and Cook counties. That's where our opportunity will lie. We have 5 different care partners in that market, including Amita Health, DuPage Medical, Edward Elmhurst, and North Shore. So here's the difference between, here's what's going on in Illinois. In Illinois, you have Blue Cross, which has an HMO. And then you have Ambetter, which is an HMO, and it's an Amita only health plan. So our Bright Health offering really provides members in the Chicagoland area access to North Shore Medical, Edward Elmhurst, Amita Health, as well as DuPage Medical Group, which are all prestigious and very important providers in the Illinois market. So I think our opportunity in that market is going to be a competitive one. We wouldn't be entering if we didn't think we had a competitive position. So that's kind of where I'll leave that.
And South Carolina, yep, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say there's actually some, I don't know if Jeff saw this, but there was actually some Bright Health breaking news today. If you're not familiar with Bright Health and being a private company like we are, right around December last year, we picked up about $600 million in funding, Series D funding, and it was announced this morning that Bright Health picked up $500 million in Series E fundings. So that's some breaking news for everybody on the call. It just shows the momentum that we have and the growth that's behind us to help us expand even more for years to come.
So to comment on South Carolina, Micah, South Carolina is, we're going to be in 6 counties in South Carolina, including Union, Cherokee, and Spartanburg counties. That's our expansion area. And if you look at the existing footprint, it is Greenville, Anderson. And our care partner is Southeastern Health Partners, which is a combination of Bon Secours, AnMed, Regional Health Partners, and Spartanburg Regional. Again, our pricing position in that Spartanburg area is going to be very, very advantageous.
What is the email address for the members to enroll in the cash rewards program?
The member would need to contact our member services department, but we will certainly track that email down.
Okay.
So we'll have to come back to that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't
Great,
seen
man.
that email.
Okay. Looks like just one more question. Are all your products HMOs in Illinois?
Yes, they're either HMOs or I believe it's actually an EPO plan.
But you did confirm that if there was a medical emergency, it would be treated as in-network, correct? As long as it's within that state?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, well, guys, that looks like that's all the questions that we have. Again, thank you to both Jason and Jeff for taking the time and presenting, and all of you for attending. I hope that you found it beneficial, and I hope you can see the value in Bright Health and what they bring. Again, if you haven't contracted yet, please do so. If you need help, if you have any questions, need someone to walk you through it, we will walk you through everything that you need. We even have Spanish marketers if you need someone to speak Spanish. We can help you there. Again, we are here to help and want you to succeed. So whatever we can do to do so, we appreciate it. Jeff, Jason, did you have anything that you wanted to say before we leave?
Now, one comment I do want to make is not to be braggadocious, but one thing that Bright Health was able to do overnight was become the second largest carrier in North Carolina. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're offering our products.
And I'm sorry, there actually was one more question. How soon will they be able to receive materials?
Mid-October. We'll make that information available mid-October, sometime around when we have the actual rollouts for the products in the states. But again, I'll be live specifically in different markets if it's North Carolina relevant, going across the state in my markets to deliver information to folks as well.
Second largest carrier in North Carolina out of, I think there was three existing carriers in North Carolina in 2019, 2020. Let's see where our results come in 2021. We're happy to do business.
Thank you, guys. Awesome. We appreciate it, guys. We look forward to having a great year with everyone. And again, contact us if you need anything. We are here to help. So have a great Tuesday, and thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.